tonight we're working on a position called half guard. Now, the tricky part about jiu-jitsu is if you just started jiu-jitsu, it's like the first time here, you get like a puzzle piece, someone gives you like a singular puzzle piece, you put it on a board, you have no idea how it fits into anything. And that is an inevitability to jiu-jitsu, all right? This position, incredibly important position, all right? I'll be honest, I think people don't really start getting good at this position typically until like purple belt, okay? It takes a little while for people to really start picking up the value of this position. As you pick up the value of this position, you'll start to dominate people, okay? It's a transition between many different positions, okay? But as I feel like if you can learn a certain premise, which I'm going to try to get across tonight, you'll be way ahead of most people. I think there are a lot of people who are even at like blue belt and they don't really know what they're doing in half guard. They're just kind of throwing something out. Well, what is happening? Before I get too chatty here, Ian, come here. Let's say I'm laying like this. He's got a leg between my legs, just like that, okay? Guard always means either my legs control some aspect of his body or they are between me and him, okay? Half guard is this situation. My leg controls a leg, all right? And which way that goes is going to make a difference, okay? I can play with my leg over this way, and I can play with the outside leg coming to the inside. I can play like this with a leg all the way in the inside, like this, okay? You can play and have like something called a lockdown from here, okay? Like there are a lot of possibilities from half guard. It's not really just even one kind of setup in terms of legs or what's my proper leg configuration. What we're gonna start with is trying to understand what my legs can do. And we'll just kind of like go through sets of things that we can do. Half guard is largely going to be defined by what I can do with my legs. But your natural inclination as a Homo sapien is to want to dictate action with your hands, okay? It's not your hands that are really going to dictate the action in half guard. We're looking at the bottom and it's my legs. It's the fact that I have his legs that gives me an advantage, okay? And that's not very apparent to people when they first start playing. So first thing we're going to look at is just getting to this position. It's not too complicated. This is lay flat. I'm just going to step a leg on the inside here. Okay, that's it. It's really as simple as that. Okay. From here, he's going to generally hook the leg that's on the inside to the outside. Don't even need a triangle. He's just going to put that foot across. That's it. Okay. We'll keep it very simple. The inside leg goes across the top. That's it. Okay. Don't take the outside leg and bring it across. We'll talk about when and how to do that, but this is going to be my standard move, okay? Get a partner around your size, 1, 2, 3. Here's some basic idea of what we're doing there. Why are we there? Well, there could be 1,000 reasons why we're there. Maybe he punched me and he fell on top of me and he just ended up with his leg between my legs. Just as simple as that. Like, you may not need to know why just now, but lots of positions are going to connect us to this, and we just need to have a sense of what do we do once we get here. So, if I have Joshua here, and I've ended up in the half guard. Let's start looking at just things I can do with my legs, and I like what he's doing. He just put his hands on the floor, okay? 2 basic directions when I have a lot of space, okay? I've got a ton of space, he's not chest to chest with me, okay? I have some basic things that I can do. I can put a frame in here. I'm going to go, and this is the big concept we're going to have to get. I have a leg that's a little bit outside. Does that make sense? This is outside of the silhouette of our body, right? This leg's on the inside. The outside leg is my power side, okay? And once you kind of start to get this concept, a lot is going to open up. But this is the power side. I always want to keep track of what's more outside and what's more inside. One of the things I can do from here, I can come to the far shoulder, okay? When I grab here, thumbless grip, my elbow activates a little bit. You feel that. If he pushes in, it has a choking feeling, okay? I'm gonna utilize this to create some additional space. I'm gonna stretch my head away. I'm gonna take this leg and put the knee inside, and then I'm gonna bring my foot out and start to create space. Put both feet on his hips. If you've been working the open guard, we just did this last week, you recognize this position, okay? I got to a basic shin shield, all right? So if I feel like I wanna create space from here, frame, stretch my head away as much as it can. My body's perpendicular. This leg's coming in. My knee's kind of going up into his armpit. Now the bottom leg comes out to his hip. I use that to create some additional space. Put my feet on his hips like this. Does that make sense? And this cycles in with things you learned last week. If you were to stand up, I'm back in just basic open guard, right? I've created a lot of distance, right? If I want to create distance, that's how I'm going to do it. One more time. Frame on the far shoulder. Activate. My elbow kind of sticks in here. This is called the stone squirrel, actually. I don't know why. Some kind of weird thing from back in the day. Turn a little, stretch away. This knee is coming inside, okay? I'm creating some space so that this leg can come out. Now I have two legs out. And things we've done in closed guard. You could go to a lot of different positions from here. 1, 2, 3. One space, which is sometimes very good for me. And he's just got his hands on the floor, so he's not that close to me. If I feel like the equation is easier to move away, I'm gonna move away. It's more to me about what's gonna be easy here, not necessarily what do I like to do, but what's easy. I'm with Ian. I feel like, oh, his hands are on the mat. It's pretty easy for me to create space and get to here. If we're just talking street fighting, it's very easy for me to go to head kicks from here, okay? If all I'm doing is defending myself on the streets, like, that's a very easy thing for me to open up there. We've looked at, in other classes, the ability to turn that into a triangle pretty easily too, okay? However, he's, even with hands on the mat, go up with a little higher hands on the mat. Now, hard for me to get that knee inside, okay? I can't seem to get my knee inside, which is what I wanted. Now, I'll be honest, I can get the knee inside. There's other things I can do, but maybe Ian has a more prodigious belly and I cannot get that inside, okay? That could be a possibility, but for now, he's still just hands on the mat. Ian's got a good base in jiu-jitsu, so his desire is to put his chest on my chest, okay? But we'll get to that, all right? I want to keep things simple for you guys. He's off of me, which is actually very, very common in beginners for jiu-jitsu. They don't use their chest to control things. And they like the idea, the feeling of your hands on the mat is a very safe feeling for a lot of people. You feel very based. Like, if I try to move you, he's actually got great base in this situation. He doesn't have a lot of control over me, but if I try to move him or sweep him with his hands on the mat, he's actually pretty stable, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cycle everybody back there. Everybody go back there. If I find it hard, I'm finding it hard to get my leg inside. There are things we could do to improve that. But I'm gonna decide to switch. I'm gonna take this leg over his leg, just like that, okay? I'm gonna go take this leg over the leg. I'm gonna come down and push on his knee. I have my hand on the knee. I'm gonna start to bring this knee inside, okay? So I was here, can't get the leg inside. The outside leg is gonna hook his leg. This leg is gonna come to here. I'm gonna start to get inside, all right? From here, I can stretch away, start to replace and get him into a closed guard, okay? So without a person, I was here, leg's not going inside. I wrap his leg, I push his knee. I'm just gonna start to push on that. As I move away, get my leg to here, and start to rotate it out, wrap him up with my legs, okay? Give that a try. 1, 2, 3. I'll face this way. You're gonna wanna be able to see my legs, okay? From here, I come over. Don't grab your own leg and stop it from moving, all right? Start to move this out. If I move away a little bit, it's a little easier for me to get in. How do I turn this leg around the corner? Right now, my butt is sticking that way. When I turn my butt in the other direction, it's it's easier for me to rotate that foot around if it's stuck. Okay? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Try it again. 1, 2, 3. Ian, lay down. Let's say that Ian decides that he wants to bring this leg out and just bring it around the corner. Okay? He just wants to do that. It's not impossible. Not at all. Okay? Go back. So he's going to keep this leg on the outside, and he wants to bring that leg around. It's very easy for me to do that. And if I feel I have a hand free, I will. Okay? Now watch. Ian's going to hook my back leg here. He's going to hook that. Now he starts to bring the leg out. I might still do this, but I'm not going anywhere. I can't move to this position. Does that make sense? I try to go. He's got me hooked here. I can't go. Does that make sense? That's why that leg is there hooked. If he unhooks that leg, I jump over right away. I get into a better position. He gets into a worse position. Okay? Try that again. 1, 2, 3. Anything can happen here. Hook the leg, no problem. Start to bring my knee in, and he starts to block it. He makes it very hard. You know, I try to turn on my side, it's hard. I can't get this leg out and around the corner. Alright? I don't consider it a problem. And if he puts his hand on my knee in particular, which is going to keep me from getting around that corner, I'm going to put my hand on his hand. Okay? When he tries to take it off, not so easy. I'm keeping it stuck there. Okay? From here, my butt is facing this way currently to the power side. I'm going to switch it away. I'm going to move it out on this side. Now, I start to have a hook. Okay? That takes him over. All right? Let me do it with someone else so you can watch. I'm here. I decide I want to replace guard. I hook this. He gets very tight with that hand. I'm going to grab his hand. I don't want it to be removable. Okay? From there, I'm going to hook my foot. Go behind us so you can see. My foot is in a hooking position. My toes are curling back towards my knees. They're hooked. Okay? From there, what I'm going to do is, rather than try to fight the strength of his hand, I'm going to move my whole body. Start to get my butt out to the other side. Now this hook becomes strong. Okay? If I have to, I'll start to pull that arm out from underneath. Okay? To hook him over. All I'm doing is I realize I can't get this out. Okay? It's not going to go out. But I got the knee through. I hook. And I will keep his hand here. Okay? I'm going to keep it kind of more than what he wanted. And I just start to turn my body out. Now when I'm on my side like this extends very easily into a hook sweep. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Now, let's start looking at what I would consider to be the next common problem that you're going to face. Okay? At early levels dealing with people in like half guard. Okay? Obviously, Gordon Ryan is going to do something better to you at half guard or whatever. Don't start there. All right? Like, you may have their hands on the floor. That's very common. Very common. Point number 2 is they're going to grab your head. In every position, when I'm looking at promoting people to blue belt, I'm very curious to see how you deal with headlocks from every single position. Okay? Every position where someone can conceivably grab your head, you should have an answer for it. It's usually not the right choice, honestly, from the top person's perspective, to start grabbing your head in a lot of positions. It can be the right choice sometimes, but you should have answers for this. Now we have to start thinking about that power side and the weak side. Okay? There's a difference between a headlock and a cross face. We'll try to get this across. Come here, Ian. I'll be on top. Let's see if you can tell what the difference is. You tell me. Is this a cross face or a headlock? Cross face. What is the difference? Why is it different? See if you can kind of ferret that out. What I'm going to have you do,
Because you're not on the
is have your partner, I don't want him to hold you super hard or tight, okay? Like this literally is as loose as I'm holding it. I'll come and grab his head from one side. I'll come and grab his head from the other side. And just see what movement feels like for both of those. And then we'll come back and reassess, okay? Do you understand? Yeah.
In this context of your right arm is the power side.
He is always, the power side is defined by him,
Okay.
not by me. Where his leg
outside.
comes out is power side, okay? I want you just to feel the difference. It will not feel the same, okay? If you just start moving around, you think about trying to escape, top person, don't be crazy. You're just like, you either go this way or you go this way. Spend 10, 15 seconds feeling like, what is that situation like, okay? 1, 2, 3. No, it doesn't matter which one's which. This is honestly where most people run into trouble, is because they're like, you teach them something and they're like, oh, that's really good. They'll do what they need to do in the headlock for the cross face. They'll do what they need to do for the cross face in the headlock, okay? And it's total, they are not the same, okay? They have separate solutions, unfortunately. I wish it was as simple as like, could you just teach me the one thing to do from half guard and then we'd all be done? If I could teach you that for every position. Hey coach, is there just one thing to do from mount? Hey coach, is there just one thing to do from here? If it was as simple as one thing and it was something that I felt would always work, it's what I would always teach you, okay? I only start to bifurcate and trifurcate as it is required. Does that make sense? So understanding which arm is controlling your head is important, and that's where the power side, in my opinion, becomes very important here, all right? The headlock happens when his arm on my power side controls my head. Now, one feature of the headlock is he can squeeze my head pretty hard, actually, from this position. Terrible. Don't underestimate the power of a headlock, okay? A really big, strong guy squeezing your head is not something you'll take lightly, okay? A 250-pound power builder squeezes your head, you'll tap, okay? When he goes in the other direction, his ability to squeeze my head, even from here, that's negligible. I don't like it, but I don't feel it that much. From here, he's able to like turn his body into it, and he can really squeeze that sucker. Yes. He's got his body turning into that, right? So, how do I know which side he's on? Which leg is on the outside? This leg is on the outside. That means he has a headlock on me, okay? From here, the escape is fairly easy for me. This is good for me when he goes for the headlock, in my opinion. I'm gonna bring my arm across and just pull my elbow out. That's it, okay? It's a mistake for him to go for the headlock once I know jiu-jitsu. If I don't know jiu-jitsu, everything's great, okay? But when I know jiu-jitsu, going for the headlock in most positions is a mistake, okay? He's here, it's not a hard thing. I'm gonna bring this arm across his body. You could bring it in front of his face too if you want. That's not what's important. This is to create a structure against him to pull this elbow out. Once I start to get to my elbow, it changes everything, okay? He's in very limited control of me. I want you just to get that first, okay? Don't push on him. I'm not pushing on him, okay? If I push on him, it's hard for me to actually pull my elbow out, okay? I want to push on him with my shoulder to get my own elbow to the mat. Now that I'm here, when he tries to reassert being on top of me, it's very hard. I'm starting to get on top of him, right? Give that a try. 1, 2, 3. I put my hand on the floor to pull my elbow up like this, okay? And if you think about what I'm doing in this solo drill, is this stops, okay? This doesn't move, right? I'm not trying to move the floor. I wish I could. I pull my elbow out and I turn around. He is the floor in this situation, okay? Now, I'm gonna muddy the waters a little bit, as I have a tendency to do. Ian is here. He has hands on the floor, okay? I'm gonna go under his arm on the power side and build myself up to the elbow in exactly the same way, okay? I start to come up to my hand. And this is a great first strategy if I feel that space is open, to go under his arm on the power side. it's identical to him having the headlock, okay? The headlock just makes it easier to teach. I'm here, my shoulder pushes into him so that my elbow can come out. It's not different here. He's just here, he has his hands on the floor. I take this hand, power side. The foot that I can stomp is the power side. My arm goes under. I'm starting to come up. I get to my elbow. Base with my elbow. Base with my hand. I'm starting to go around him, okay? Give that a try. 1, 2, 3. First thing you're looking, like, when we did it with the headlock, we came under, okay? When we go here, and I'm just looking to come under this way, what I want to get, if he gives me space, my elbow's going to go up. I want to get off the mat. I want to be close to him. And now we can actually start to talk about strikes and the why of everything, okay? As I stay down here, let's say he frames up. This hand is ready to start hitting me, okay? I am in danger, okay? So it's like, oh, I create space so I'm not getting hit by that, all right? Or he's hitting me, and I'm like, oh, I start to create space. I go back into like a close guard, right? Or he's starting to hit me. I come up. His ability to hit me, I know he can touch me, okay? He's not hitting me very hard from here though either, right? If he holds on really tight, like he's not gonna like hold me like you'll never see me again, yeah. I'll take the top position every time. So if I can't go out the back door because he's like really holding me on, I just rotate right over the top of him very easily. So one of my favorite things to do from the half guard, my first move is always, if I can put this on the power side under his arm, I'm gonna come up to him, okay? And I will gain as much height as I can. When my head gets higher than his head, I control the position, in my opinion. Just from here, like, his striking options are not great, okay? And if I just come up onto my knees from here, I'm in the top position. And we're in half guard top. He can do that to me now. He goes under. He starts to come up. Get your head higher. Yes, as soon as his head is higher, you'll feel it. I've lost this position, okay? If I'm deciding I want to hit him, I'm just going down as a result of that. I have nothing to base on anymore. Try that out. 1, 2, 3. That's underhook side. He feels me want to put my post down, so he's going to go heavy on me. He's not going to let me do that, all right? I got Tommy on me. And here, I'm like, I want to start using this to get up, right? Like I'm starting to bring this up, and Tommy goes, no, and he just smushes me. And now it's like, it's very hard for me to use this underhook arm. But he's got that shoulder smashed. That's what he has to do. He absolutely has to put his weight in my left shoulder. I cannot get up in this way. There's no way. Keep that weight smashing me. He can be heavy in one place. He doesn't get to be equally heavy in all places. When he goes heavy here, there's a light Jenga piece in this equation. He crushes that shoulder. Everybody come over here. Keep this heavy. This moves so easy, okay? It's so easy for me to move this, so light for me to move it. Same things we worked on before. I can come around, or I can hook, okay? Everything works back together in the end, right? He crushes that shoulder. I can't get up. I can't get my elbow. Whenever I feel this, and this happens all the time, I'm pushing on this knee. I'm putting him in the closed guard, okay? Now, if you don't know what to do from closed guard, keep coming to class, okay? I can't teach everything in one night. I can only teach so many things, but try that out. It's imperative that your partner actually smash your shoulder. And if I felt that he's not, like, if I go to push that knee and it's not moving, I know one thing for sure. There's no weight on this shoulder, and I'm gonna start to come up. And that's the concept of dilemma that we're always trying to work for, okay? I don't wanna just give him a problem. I wanna give him 2 problems, so he has no solution. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, more muddying of the waters, but not really. We looked at him headlocking us, now we'll look at him cross-facing us. And when he cross faces us, he's going to have a tendency to do something else, which is probably going to go and underhook the arm that I wanted to utilize. You felt how useful that arm is. If I can get that arm down there, I'm probably going to win. Really, this is generally speaking like Heather's actually up watching the matches up in Austin tonight. And I guarantee the commentators, when they're looking at people go to half guard, they're 100% going to look at who gets the underhook. And if I get the underhook, I generally win in the half guard. If he gets the underhook, he's probably going to have a better chance of winning. Maybe. Depends on how good he is. So I wanted this on the power side. It's not going to take too many turns before he realizes that, and he's going to repummel. He wants that, okay? Now he's got the cross face. There are ways to get this back, okay? But I don't necessarily have to do that. Similar principle, he's heavy in this shoulder. Put him in closed guard. We're going to talk about, there's something he's going to do to try to stop that. I deal with this a lot. But if he's initially very heavy, if I just even push into him a little, I'll get a little push back from him. The Jenga, that's a light Jenga piece, and I'm just gonna put it over, okay? Give that a try, all right? 1, 2, 3. Last little thing. We'll throw in that last little, but really you've only learned like, get up with the underhook, either go to his back or knock him down. You've learned to put him in guard or open guard. You really haven't learned a ton of different actual moves. You just learn to do them in a variety of scenarios, okay? This is a new move, okay? This is a new thing that we're gonna add, all right? It's very predictable kind of stuff. I'll get Tommy. It's very predictable to me, something that will happen. He got that underhook. He got that crossface. He's pretty heavy. I start to go to push on his knee. He knows that I wanna move this leg to the inside, so he just squeezes his knees together. What are we gonna do now, gang? My leg is caught, right? Like, this is a very, he doesn't have to know any jiu-jitsu to just know that I'm trying to move that leg and he doesn't want it to go there.
Take your butt.
I'll take the top position, okay? What has happened is this. Here, why is his knee wide to begin with? Base.
The base.
It gives him some base, right? When I start going to push on it and he feels that leg coming through, he becomes like a tube, right? I'm gonna block that knee. I'm gonna bring my hand, palm up like so. Palm down, I'm holding him to me, okay? I'm making him heavier. I don't want that. I'm gonna extend this in this direction, kind of 30 degrees away from my head. I'm gonna push off this leg up in this direction. I flip right over onto the top foot, okay? He can do it right back to me because I'm actually in an identical position. I hold him, okay? I feel him touch that knee. He's starting to, I don't like that, so I pinch it down. We can just do that all day, right? So, give that a try. 1, 2, 3. Just like 2 minutes each. You've got a lot of little tools, okay? Top person. I want you to recognize that half guard is not a conceptually easy position, okay? So you are only helping them with pattern recognition. So if I'm the top person for Ian, I'm just like, and I let Ian solve for X, okay? Do you understand? Like, if you start switching in the middle here, it's probably not ready for it. You understand? Like, and there are lots of other possibilities. We have just scratched the surface, right? Like, it can go on quite a bit more what I might do from the top, okay? But I'm just like here, working on, and then he goes. Yeah, beautiful. Good. We go back down. I'm like, okay, here. Good. You just keep like working through those possibilities. That's what you want at this stage. Too much aliveness too soon, it's not good. You don't even know what you're doing yet. You're just gonna start dog fighting and like trying to reinvent the wheel at this point, okay? Nice and slow, give it a whirl. 1, 2, 3.